chocolate bank. So yeah, we're using a different background today because my normal setup, they are playing music there and we're not about to get copyright strikes. Okay, so this is a chit chat video and we're going to be talking about issues concerning getting pregnant, being pregnant in Nigeria, myths, taboos, things that are associated with pregnancy generally in Nigeria or even in Africa. So you guys, I recently saw this post on Instagram about a woman who was pregnant for 8 years and she recently just put to bed. I'm so happy for her. I'm so excited for her. But when I read that story and I saw the comments people were leaving, it made me concerned. I became concerned in the sense that, is it possible? Because people were asking questions like, how is it possible for somebody to be pregnant for 8 years and why didn't they do cesarean operation, that it's not true, blah blah blah. Some other people in the comment section were like, no, there was somebody who was saying that the person knows a family member who had been pregnant for 20 years. So I was concerned because I know that life is very spiritual and I know that a lot of things happen, especially in Africa. But I was really concerned. So I was talking with my husband and I shared this, my thoughts and what I'm going to be discussing with you guys. And he was like, oh, there's something called cryptic pregnancies, that there's a phenomenon known as cryptic pregnancies where scans don't detect the babies and all of that. And they say due to lack of certain nutrients, the babies don't grow at the rate that they are supposed to grow. Apologies, rain is falling, so it may seem as if I'm shouting, so please pardon me. So I was really concerned because what type of voodoo, what type of witchcraft, what type of oppression would see that a woman is carrying a baby in her womb for 8 years and they were not able to deliver the baby. Somebody in the comment section was saying something like, oh, that's because some people were trying to be all bougie and like, oh, what's the scientific backing and all of that. So somebody was like, just pray that you don't meet wicked people, that all sorts of things happen, that most women in that condition will be feeling like that there's a child in her body, but when she goes to do scan, they cannot find the baby in her body. They cannot find whether or not this person is pregnant. And I remember when I was growing up, and that's why I'm like, okay, I really need to bring this out there and let's have a conversation, let's have a discussion. I remember when I was growing up, we used to listen to a program. I think it's this Bear program, though it was hosted in the southwest, but we used to get the signals in Benin and people used to call in to share their stories and different paranormal type of stories. And I still remember one particular caller, people, whether it was a woman herself or somebody called on her behalf, that the lady had just given birth to tortoise. Strange things, guys. And so and when I was talking with my husband, he was like, when he was growing up in the denomination they grew up in, that such phenomenon were kind of very popular in the 80s, 90s in Nigeria. I don't think it's still as popular as it used to be, but these things happen. Do you understand? So I'm just concerned, like, what leads to this kind of things. I have a big mommy that is like big mommy, and she was I think it was my mom that was telling me the story of how they changed the sex of our sons to daughters, and I'm like, how is this still possible? Like I'm trying to wrap my head about, like, I'm not naive, I'm not a naive person. I did a video on my experience with witchcraft and somebody left a comment like, oh girl, you probably had a dream. I'm like, no, I experienced those things. Like I don't share things that I don't make up things from figment of my imagination. There are things that I grew up, experienced, and overcame those kind of things. If you want to watch that video, you can check it somewhere here. So I'm not naive. I know that the world that we live in is very, very spiritual, and one has to be very prayerful. Like, one has to be really, really prayerful in this world. But at the same time, I'm wondering, what are the odds? How is this possible? Because when people were asking questions like, why didn't they do cesarean operation? I know that in Nigeria, doing CS is a big deal. Most women don't want to do CS because they feel like, oh, I have to give birth through my VJ and all of that and all that kind of thing. So I'm just wondering, like, why would somebody tie somebody's baby? I don't understand. Like, this world, you get as it be, oh. It really, really get as it be. That is the other thing that was on my mind, and I'm just expressing myself, guys. Like, people showing their pregnancies on social media. There's a YouTuber, may her soul rest in peace, that recently passed on, a UK-based YouTuber. I never knew her, but I saw the post on Instagram, and some people were like, this is why you shouldn't show your pregnancy on social media. And I also know a Ghanaian couple too that I really followed their journey on YouTube before they had their son, and they lost their sons, and people were really bashing that couple. You were showing your pregnancy, you were doing this, you were doing that, that's why you lost the baby. I personally have like a different opinion about that. I know that in my own case, when I was pregnant, I didn't share it on social media, and the reason why I didn't share it on social media personally is like, I waited for 5 years before I even conceived. Do you understand? So before I even told my mom that I had taken it, it took some time before I finally came out and said, oh, I missed my period, blah blah blah. I wanted to soak it in, I wanted to enjoy it, I wanted to enjoy the whole experience without adding unnecessary pressure from the outside. Do you understand? So I honestly, and I'm being very sincere, I don't know if I become pregnant tomorrow, if I'm going to show it on social media, or if I'm going to come and say, hey, look at my bump, or all those kind of things. I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't judge people who do it. Do you understand? Because I feel like it's your choice, it's your personal choice. But I get cringy when people begin to say that people lost babies because they showed it on social media. Because it's one argument. I'm sorry if it looks like I'm rambling, I'm just sharing my thoughts, guys. One argument, some people are like, oh, won't you go to the market? Are they not going to see the belle in the market? Your neighbors, are they not going to see the belle in the market? So where do you draw the line? And what I finally said to myself is, you need to know your spiritual capacity at the end of the day. And I know that there are some people who are not even spiritual, or I don't know, you don't know what people do at home at the end of the day, but they show their pregnancies and everybody's fine. Because there was a time like, mommy, I was telling my mom that, mommy, Kim Kardashian, these people, they are normal people. We even claim that we fear God more than these people, and they show us their pregnancy, they show us their children, they show us everything. How come nothing is happening to their children? Because sometimes it may just be our belief system, because we are conditioned to think like, bad people, because of like the first story I shared about baby being in the womb for 8 years and all those kind of creepy, very, very creepy story. Like, you guys, being pregnant in Africa is a journey. Like, any woman who goes into the labor room, comes out, baby, mother doing well, is a big miracle. Like, abroad, it may not be so much of a, I'm not saying like it's a special thing, but it may not be so much of a miracle because everything is working. But in Africa, in Nigeria, it is a huge, huge miracle. I remember when I was in the labor room, even though we even sacrificed and went to like a high-end hospital in Abuja. My mother stood at the door. She was like, I don't want story of they can't switch pikin, that they switch the babies, because such things happen, like they really do happen, and all those kind of things. So it just you guys, women are really, really trying. And That's why personally I cannot overemphasize the importance of being prayerful and being watchful, not being fearful. Okay, I don't encourage fear, no, but to be prayerful. One cannot be naive, right? We have to know that we live in a very deep world, like a very, very, very deep, deep world. I'm not one of those people that will say, oh, I don't believe in those kind of things, because me, I know where I'm coming from. I know my experiences. I know the things that I've experienced in life. So I don't want to just wave it away like, no, those things don't exist or all those kind of things. But one thing I know is that I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, is that God is with me. Do you understand? And I know that no evil can come near me, and I keep my confessions and all those kind of things. But I realize that not a lot of people put all these things into consideration. Most people take things for granted, right? A lot of people take things for granted. So the last thing I want to talk about is yeah, Pastor Ibizu Godallo. She passed on recently, and she has really been she was a blessing to lot of women who were believing God for children, IVF, paying for IVF, like fertility treatment, guys. It's not it's not small money. Like you have to really have money to look if you are looking for a child. My sister, it's not small. So she was really a blessing to people, and she had adopted children, and I just pray that God gives her family the fortitude to bear her the loss. And recently they celebrated like her posthumous birthday, and yeah, so these are the things that are just on my mind, guys. So share with me in the comment section, being pregnant in Africa. Tell me what are the things that occur in your own locality, because I'm talking from a Nigerian perspective. These things happen in Kenya, these things happen in Malawi, this kind of things, does it happen in India? You guys share, let's talk, and how do you mitigate such things, right? How do you mitigate such things? So this is where this video is going to end. I feel like I have expressed myself, and because I just said I want to chat with us, I just want to talk about pregnancy and all of that. I'm going to do a part 2 video of giving birth in public hospitals in Nigeria. I saw a video like that, and I was like, I was going to talk about my experience. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel, and I will see you